Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine.
I can see it in our faces. We're all looking good this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, now, the basic reason that I brought all of us here together as architects and professional colleagues is that, I want to discuss with us and I want to pitch an idea of the reason why we should all adopt modern architecture as our basic design approach in our different architectural studios. And as students of architecture, I presume that we all remember what Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, that German-American architect, told us as far back as 1947. He said, less is more. Now, why did he say less is more? He said less is more because there are so many benefits that we can all gain from the minimalism that modern architecture brings to fore. There are several genres of architecture. We have classicism, postmodernism, even of late, there's what we call deconstructivism. But the benefits that you can get from modern architecture, the benefits dwarf all the benefit from all these other forms of architecture. And I will give you just 4 reasons why I think we should all adopt modern architecture in our various design studios. One, you know that basically the function, what the laymen call plan, in modern architecture, in modernism, the plan is basically unencumbered. It is devoid of unnecessary walls and the likes. And then the form itself, what we call elevation outside, is also devoid of any form of ostentation or ornamentation. So basically, it saves you a lot of studio time to adopt modern architecture. What you could have necessarily done for about 5 days in other genres of architecture, you end up doing for maybe about 1 or 2 days if you adopt modern architecture. Now, the second benefit, if you now transmit your studio work to the field, the builder finds it easier to build any architecture that is designed along the tenets of modernism. Why? Because it doesn't have to contend with all the window hoods, the wrought iron, all forms of ornamentation that we do in all the other forms of architecture. You don't have it in modernism. So it's quicker to bring up buildings, And then we all look at it that even if you are doing mass housing, so modern architecture becomes something that you want to adopt. Now, the third reason is, I imagine if we all wake up every day and what we see is, you all know the basic principles of classical architecture and postmodernism and all of them, which is, the symmetry that we often bring up to them. In modern architecture, you don't need symmetry. You don't need just ordinary, vertical and horizontal lines and all that. You can use geometry to drive home your point. So modern architecture is, at the end of the day, much more interesting. It impacts the skyline. You see, more beautiful, more aesthetically balanced buildings. And now the fourth reason, are we waiting for the fourth and the last reason?
Yes.
Yeah, the fourth reason is all the other reasons I've given you. So Sarafa, you told me you have a question.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. If everyone adopts modern architecture, don't you think our built skyline will become boring?
No. I told you that in modernism, you can use geometry. Rectilinear, curvilinear. Once you do all those, it can never be boring. Femi, you have a question too.
Yeah, you also said ornaments are not allowed in modern architecture. So how does one create good aesthetic?
Oh, that's a very fantastic question. You know that in modernism, in architecture generally, what gives you aesthetic is not your genre, but your level of perception of what we call your abstract idea. So it is your abstract idea that gives you the aesthetics, not really your genre. So when we are designing now, I don't want us to forget. Let us all remember, less is more. Thank you very much.
Thank you.